Yo, so can you league start Spectres? Well, you can, but it is not super efficient, and you will probably be quite a bit slower when compared to a good Necro League starter, like Zoomancer or Summon Raging Spirits. I would suggest running a solid league starter first, and then swapping to Spectres later on. There's quite a few uncertainties when it comes to Spectres as well. For example, we saw Legion in the campaign in the content reveal video, meaning we might get Hyrri's Watch quite early on. But it might still take a little bit before Hyrri's Watch is actually shared in the Spectre channel. Another thing is that there could be some really powerful new Spectres that will overshadow any Spectres we can currently summon. We will get a bit more information when we can data mine the GGPK file, but the Spectres might need additional testing before we find out if they are actually strong or not. This is again why I would recommend starting with a decent league starter on a Necromancer, so swapping is not that hard and you can build up some currency for a Spectre build later on. Personally, I'm starting out with Summon Raging Spirits and I'll see where the league takes me. If you do really want to play Spectres early on however, there is a couple options, but they do require 1 or 2 uniques. First up, Hyrri's Watch is a pretty decent starter option in combination with a Bitter Dream Scepter and a City Breath Amulet. The amulet is usually around 1 chaos at league start. The Bitter Dream however has become a more popular item over the past few leagues. Last league, Bitter Dream started at 7 chaos and slowly went down to 3 chaos, which can be quite a bit if you are unlucky and don't get any drops for a while. We can also run Bitter Dream and City Breath with Primal Crushclaws. The problem is that Primal Crushclaws won't be found until at least some people reach maps and start running Harvest. Another unique item option is the Reverberation Rod. This unique is quite powerful in combination with spell specters, such as the Frost Auto Scout. Do note however that Frost Auto Scouts will fall off quite hard as you get into higher tier maps. It will also take some time before the heist contracts are found to obtain Frost Auto Scouts. If you do decide to play Spectres, Survivability is something you will need to invest in early. I like taking the full minion life regen wheel early on. Also, here's an endgame PoB for Deadly Tarantulas that I've been working on. As you can see, the DPS is decent, but not incredible for the amount of currency invested, even with the new Wraithlord. Tankiness for the player should also be fine. My main worry is that Spectres might not be tanky enough to survive, especially in tier 17 maps. I had a very tanky setup with Perfect Serpent Warriors last league. They survived just fine in 100% delirious tier 16 maps with maximum affliction wisps, but sometimes got absolutely clapped in a Valdos map. Serpent Warriors do have less life than the Deadly Tarantula, but they did have an innate 100% life as extra energy shield, and you ran them with meat shield support. This means I might need to add more defenses for my Spectres. I'll just need to test this and see how things feel with the new Ascendancy changes. There is a couple of things in this PoB I want to touch on. First, we are using 7 Deadly Tarantulas and we are using 1 Ancient Suffering. The Ancient Suffering inflicts Temporal Chains, the effect of which scales with the damage the Spectre deals. It also has 1 additional curse, so we don't need to increase our own curse limit. If we were to use the normal enable curses and skill options for Raised Spectre, I feel like we get quite an inflated DPS number. To circumvent this, I added a custom modifier which grants us an additional curse and added a level 5 Temporal Chains in the skill list. I will add the PoB in the description along with some notes. Finally, make sure you join the Spectre sharing channel in-game if you want to stay up to date, which can be accessed by typing /global6666 in the in-game chat. There's a large community of Spectre fanatics and everyone works together, trying to make Spectres widely available as quickly as possible. This is probably the fastest way to find about new Spectres as well.
Spectre!